We've all got these digital skills we use every single day, right? We don't even think about it. But what if I told you that those exact same skills are the key to building something real, something you can actually use, like your very own app? Yeah, just think about it for a second. I'm not talking about some world-changing billion-dollar idea here. Nope, just a simple app to fix one tiny, annoying little thing in your life. But for most of us, right, that's kind of where the dream stops. We hit this wall, and yup, there it is. That's the thought, isn't it? The one that stops almost everyone dead in their tracks. It's this mental roadblock we hit immediately. We just assume that to make anything digital, you've got to have years and years of super specialized training. But what if that whole idea is just completely outdated now? Okay, so this is where things get really, really interesting. That huge barrier to entry, that massive wall of code we all picture, it's gotten so low. In fact, you're probably going to be surprised to hear that you're pretty much already equipped to start building right now. No, really, think about it. If you've ever asked an AI to help you write an email, or if you've ever messed around with one of those simple drag and drop website builders, well, you've already been using the core concepts you need to get started. The power to actually create is more accessible right now than it has ever been. So let's take a look at this hidden toolkit you've got. I especially love this idea of vibe coding. This isn't about writing lines and lines of perfect code, not at all. It's about describing what you want to an AI, just telling it the vibe. Something like, hey, make me a button that looks friendly, and when you click it, it adds something to a list. And then you just let the AI generate the building blocks for you. Now you combine that with these amazing no-code app builders and literally endless YouTube tutorials, and suddenly you've got a serious creative arsenal at your fingertips. This quote it nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly sums up the whole point. All these tools, they've been right there in our pockets, on our computers, this whole time. We haven't been looking at them the right way. We've seen them as tools to get work done, productivity boosters, not as a hammer and nails to actually build our own ideas. So, okay, if the building part isn't the main obstacle anymore, then what is? Well, the whole challenge has completely shifted. It's not a technical problem anymore. It's a creative one. The really hard question has stopped being, how do I build it? And it's become, what should I build? I mean, just look at this comparison. The old problem, the one we all have stuck in our heads, was this massive, monumental task, right? You had to spend years learning these super complex programming languages. But the real problem today, it's so much smaller and honestly way more interesting. It's just finding one tiny, specific, useful idea. That's it. The whole game has shifted from, can I execute this, to what's a good idea? And that brings us to the most crucial part. It's all about this internal mindset shift. It's about moving past that voice in your head that says, oh, I could never do that, and instead asking yourself a totally different and way more useful question. What small thing in my life is just annoying enough that I actually want to spend a little time fixing it? That's where all the magic is. All right, so how do you actually find an idea like that? Look, it doesn't have to be some lightning strike of pure genius. In fact, it's almost never that. It's usually much simpler. It's really just about looking at the little frustrations, the small frictions in your most average, boring day. This breaks it down perfectly. Step 1, find a tiny frustration. And I mean tiny. We're not talking about solving world hunger here. We're talking about, I can never remember where I parked my car. Step 2, make it personal. It has to be your problem. That's the best motivation you'll ever have. And third, and this is so important, keep it simple enough that you can actually finish it. The goal here is to build something, not to try and build everything. I absolutely love this quote because it is just so true. Your next great idea probably isn't going to show up during some big official brainstorming session. No way. It's going to pop into your head while you're stuck in traffic, or when you're trying to figure out a time for dinner that works for 5 different people, or when you get to the grocery store and realize you've forgotten your shopping list. Again, it's hiding right there in the most ordinary parts of your life. So we figured out that the tools are already there. They're more accessible than ever. And the ideas, well, they're literally all around us, hiding in plain sight. The only thing left is that little spark of actually doing something about it. This is really the biggest takeaway here. The gap between I have a problem and I built a solution has never, ever been smaller than it is today. You, yes, you, have the ability right now to start building something that makes your life or even someone else's just a tiny bit better. So I'm going to leave you with this one question. Just for a second, forget all about building an app. Just think, what was your most ordinary Tuesday problem? What's that one small, nagging little thing that bothered you this week? Because that little point of friction, that right there might just be your first great idea, waiting for you.